Hi guys, this video is on how to get perfect pitch. So perfect pitch is being able to recognise a note without having your instrument on you or without having a particular reference to help you out, basically. I'm going to teach you my technique, how I managed to get there. Some people are lucky enough to be born with it, or they can see colours when they hear a note. I personally never experienced that, so I had to learn it the long way. And it does take a while, but you get there in the end. So the first thing you've got to have is a little thing called relative pitch. Relative pitch is being able to identify the distance between two notes, which is basically the interval. Orally. So for example, G and A, that's a major second, major third, perfect fifth, major sixth. And you've got to have good relative pitch. If you don't quite have that at the moment, then I'd recommend you go and get it, really. There are many websites and videos out there that can help you with that sort of ear training. But relative pitch is a key technique in this method, how I'm going to teach you to get perfect pitch. Okay? Yeah, so the next step, if you already have relative pitch, you're pretty much halfway there, because the next step is to memorize a note. Alright, to memorize a note. So how are you going to do that? You're going to listen to a song or a piece a hell of a lot. Alright, not going to lie, a hell of a lot. So it should be a piece or a song that you're studying at school or uni or whatever. Could be just a song or a piece that you love and you listen to a lot anyway. Don't pick a song that you hate. Or it could be a song that you are learning on your instrument. Okay? And what you're going to do is just pick 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds of the song or the piece where the note plays a lot, and then listen to it about 10 times a day. Which even that doesn't take a minute, that shouldn't be too hard. And then eventually it just gets in your head. So personally, we studied in year 12 Beethoven's first symphony, first movement, where the main motif is that, which is heavily based on C. Okay, and after listening to that so much, analysing it, C just gets into your head. And eventually what you can do is just think of the piece name or the song name and then sing or hum the first line or first motif in the right key. And that's when you're making good progress, when you can sing it in the right key without having heard it in the last sort of 5 minutes or so, And that's pretty much it. Once you've got your relative pitch good and you've memorised your note, it doesn't have to be C, obviously, combine them together and you have perfect pitch. Because what you're going to do is, when you're trying to work out a note, or you're testing your perfect pitch, so for example, E. So what I did there, because I've memorised C, I know I've sort of just played C, but I promised I've memorised it before. I heard that that note was a major third away from C, and therefore a major third away from C is E, and that's how I got that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. One thing I'd recommend is that because sometimes you forget the first note you learn. So sometimes I forget C. If you're under pressure or something and there's notes just flying around your head and you're panicking and you just can't get C and it's getting a bit stressful, then what I do is rely on the second note that I've learned, which is F. Tonight I'm gonna have. And that song, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, best band ever. Listen to that song a lot, and eventually F got in my head. And yeah, that became my second note that I learned and memorised. So I'd recommend that your second note is quite far away from your first note. If you learn C as your first note, don't memorise C sharp as the second note because you're just going to get confused because they're so close together. I'd recommend it being either a perfect fourth tritone or perfect fifth away, because then you've got some range there at least, you know. That's pretty much it. In terms of practicing, get your friends to get you practicing. So look away, obviously, and then they're gonna do it on the piano or instrument they play. If there's no one around you, you can, if you have a transposable keyboard like this one, you know. So at the moment I'm pressing D constantly, but just pressing the transpose buttons. Then that's when you don't know the note is. Don't look on the keyboard, obviously, to see how it's transposed. That's how you test yourself. So I don't know. F sharp. I'll just test. Yeah. Okay. Another thing you can do is, if you have Logic or just online, get a virtual keyboard online. Don't look at your computer and just click on the piano. Random note, obviously. Make sure you can't see. And that's another way of testing yourself. All right. And that is it. Takes a few months. Not gonna lie, it takes a while. But you get there in the end. So, thanks for watching, and hope it goes well. Cheers.